Well, my friend Red here, he's going to show how he uses the Dakotaline Trap and Snare dip, and he's going to use it on traps. So show us your stuff, Red.
Okay, I've got some of the trap dip right here. I've got this gallon open, and I try to stay reasonably clean when I do this, although that I'm not 100% successful.
He is kind of a clean freak.
We'll dump this in here, and we're going to add I like to add about 2 gallons of water, even though it says 1.5 gallons. I like to make it a little bit thinner. I like to rinse out the can so I get all the goodie out of it, because once I do this, I'm going to pour whatever's left out of this tote. This tote is just for dipping traps, and I'm going to dip some 330 conibears or 330 body grips, and I like to have a big enough container where they're totally covered. Once I finish dipping the traps, I'm going to take a 5-gallon bucket with a gasket in the lid, and I'm going to put the remainder of the dip in the bucket.
Yeah, because you can store this. You just can't let it freeze, but you can keep it till next season and the next season.
You have a never-ending pail of dip. It's like when your wife makes spaghetti on Monday and you don't quite have enough sauce for Tuesday, so she adds something else in. So every night that week you have spaghetti, and every night the sauce is different.
Yeah, but you don't want to eat this stuff, Red.
Well, no. That was an analogy. All right, our dip is mixed up. It's about 3 inches deep. I think I can cover a 330. Well, I'm going to do some body grips. I've got some 220s, some 160s, and some 330s and 280s. I like to keep my traps dipped. It helps with the longevity of the steel, because traps aren't cheap. Even though fur is, traps are still high priced.
Getting higher.
Yeah, and that's as quick as it takes to dip it. I like to let it drip off, but then I just stack them on either a fur bag or on plywood or something. You can stack them right on the driveway if you don't mind the dip being on your driveway. I'm struggling.
And Red, you also told me that keeping the rust off of the critter
Oh yeah,
is important.
we're dealing with the raw furs, and the quality is always an issue. Anything you can do to make that fur better quality, it's a higher price. You get a better price if it's the better it is. I was having, before I did use this, I was having, my beavers would have rust marks on the fur, and I didn't like it. And I found through some reading that I always thought that mark would be taken off during the fur tanning process. I found out it wasn't. So I started dipping my traps so that I don't have that rust mark on the beavers.
By the way, Red is, in my opinion, just a pure expert with using these conibears or body grip traps. And we tried to do some math one time, and he hasn't really thought about it a lot, but I think we figured you'd probably caught 20,000 critters in these body grip traps. It was something like that, just adding the years together, and he foothold traps and snares too.
Conservative estimate.
Conservative, yeah. I think that might have been raccoon, but he's caught just literally tons of beaver in these. And
That's my go-to trap. So I really like using the water-based dip, and I do use it on my foot traps, and I use it on even the smaller body grips. I use body grips to catch coon. I catch a ton of possums, and I catch skunks in there, and I catch otters and beavers and nutrias. I've even used them successfully to catch bobcats. Depends on the state that you live in, the limitations that you have. But this is a good product. I mean, it gives you a no shine on the trap. It blends into the environment really well. I mean, a lot of times hunters or passers-by can walk right by your traps and they don't even see them because they blend in so well. And it comes in more than one color.